Hello, guys, and welcome back to the Solidified Podcast. We are talking all about manifesting this month and into the first quarter of 2024, primarily because there's so much going on inside of my ecosystem, and I'm collaborating with another brand where we're delivering a lot of goods in the realm of manifesting, specifically for the soul powered business babe. So if you have a business or you want to start a business, now is the time to really be tuning into my business and my brand, because there's so much coming up that's going to give you incredible insight and proven methodologies that have already worked for women just like you coming up and being announced regularly. So first and foremost, if you're new to my channel, please, I would love it if you're watching this YouTube video rather than listening to the podcast, would you subscribe? I would be so honored. Like this video if you find it helpful. Comment below with your biggest takeaways. And would you please share it with someone who you know would also love this information? Let's get into now what we're talking about today and how it relates to manifesting. So much about manifesting is misunderstood still. Manifesting really isn't woo-woo. There's energy, there's woo, but there's also the do. There's woo and do. And we talk a lot about the do in manifesting in my ecosystem because honestly, it is about taking action. So when we think about taking action, we really do need to understand what on earth is the difference between a strategy and a plan. I thought they were the same thing. Isn't a strategy a plan? Isn't a plan a strategy? Why would I need one or the other? Oh my gosh, do they work together? What's going on here? Because guys, they are different and they do work together. Most people, when they understand this, it unlocks so much clarity in their life. And because of there's clarity, we remove the fear. And because the fear is gone, there's momentum and velocity. When you have velocity, it is because you have eliminated a lot of the fear. I have this little saying, if you want to get rid of the fear, you've got to get clear. So what I'm about to talk to you and coach you on today is eliminating a lot of the fuzziness when it comes to actually creating actionable goals that work, that you enjoy, creating goals, creating plans that help you in not only your business, but your life, your household responsibilities, in your career, your 9 to 5, maybe you're a passion project business owner, right? So you still have a 9 to 5. How do you balance all of this? And why is everyone around you achieving so much, but you feel so run down? And we're about to start a new year and you're supposed to be pumped for all these new goals and maybe you're feeling a little bit tired. Well, guess what? Today's episode is really going to uplift you and give you a lot of support. So let's get into the strategy. I have two sort of swim lanes or channels when I think about the difference and the supportiveness of both a strategy and the plan. So I'm going to talk from the energy, kind of the woo side of things first. As you may or may not know, I'm a yoga teacher and yoga practitioner with 20 plus years of experience. Although I'm not on the mat so much anymore, I'm still very much a yogi in my heart when it comes to discipline and compassion, when it comes to truthfulness and some of the more spiritual philosophies of Eastern yoga. I'm absolutely 100% still in it. I mentioned that when it comes to strategy and plan, you might be like, why is she talking about yoga, strategy and plan? Because there is a spiritual side to planning, believe it or not. And I think when this is left out, we're all in the head of analytics. And we got to remember that statistics show us that we make decisions, whether that's what to purchase, who to spend our lives with and get married to, who to be friends with. We make it not based too much on logic, if at all. It's all emotion. It's all how we feel about our lives. And so if you can pinpoint what's maybe driving your emotions or what doesn't quite feel authentic in your emotions, you might be able to stop yourself from making a really bad decision or a poorly aligned decision in your life. So being able to witness emotions, being able to witness holistically how you're feeling in a moment is really important. This is why I'm bringing up philosophies such as meditation and self-observation without judgment and having that compassion piece, because part of planning well and strategizing well is knowing who you are. So there is a philosophical piece I want to drop in here. We've just got to know who you are. One of the best ways of figuring out who you are is to sit still and meditate. Yep, you're going to hear every crazy thought that's in your brain, but everyone does it first. There are different techniques for meditation. I'm not going to get into them here. There is an embodiment practice that I teach people called the radical ritual method, which has 4 parts to it that will help you if you're a busybody and can't quite sit still. The radical ritual method is for you. In my YouTube channel, there are, I think 3 or 4 different videos on the radical ritual method. So you could try them out for free here on my channel. So once you know who you are, meaning you are connected to source, connected to spirit, connected to God, you're never separate. You are from that space, and that space is you. Once you know this and you feel it through the feeling of spaciousness, so the feeling of openness inside of your body, created through meditation, created through breath work, created through somatic practices. Once you're in that space that we know and love and we call peacefulness, we call tranquility. When you're in that space, what you'll come to understand is the reason you feel so much tranquility is because the head and heart are united. There is now one unified system of communication between the logical mind that has memories and evidence and, yes, some tragedy from the past, but also we have a lot of knowledge of the world's paradigms as well. And through the heart, we have our creativity, we have our compassion, our love, our generosity. We have the seat of the soul itself here in the heart. When a human being has that aligned, the head and the heart, and there's a harmonious communication between the two of them, we say that we feel holistic. People say they feel grounded. They use words like, I feel tranquil, I feel serenity, I feel so at one with everything. So if you've ever heard anyone say that around you, or maybe you've said that or have experienced it and weren't able to put into words, from the yogic perspective, from the Eastern philosophy, that is exactly what's happening. You've created a pathway symbolically and energetically between the head and the heart. Now, we could also expand this out into the larger perspective of heaven and earth, God and the individual, or from the individual to community. We can see that the macro and the micro of one big thing into one small thing, or one thing that is perceived separate and the other thing that's separate, are now one. Unity, holistic, coming together, communion. When these things happen, coming together as one, there's so much power. That's why revolutions on a societal level happen. We want people that feel separate to come together and unite under one revolution, one movement, one mission. There's so much power behind that. Well, what would happen if you united the head and the heart? What if you united logic in your critical thinking mind with the heart that believes and has faith and has love and generosity and creative childhood-like expression? When you unite those both, you have an experience of oneness with everyone around you. You have an experience of immediate confidence in yourself. Now, tell me that doesn't sound like the perfect place to be building a plan and a strategy for 2024 in, right? So now let's get into the nitty gritty a little bit more. Now that we understand the point and the reason you want to unite the head and heart with meditation, breathwork, and embodiment practices. So now from this space, where does a plan come in and where does a strategy come in? First, let's talk about the difference between the two. A plan is not a strategy and a strategy is not a plan. A plan, I like to think of and visualize it as an umbrella. Okay, it's the overarching house, if you will. It's the overarching framework of what needs to get done, what you desire to get done in your life. So a plan is the umbrella, and therefore the strategy is what goes under the umbrella. It is sort of what gets protected from the rain or the elements. It is what is more detailed as well. So a plan is general. A plan is bird's eye view. A plan also tends to have the mission, but not the strategy of how you're going to get to the mission. A plan tends to have the more general outlook, but not the details of how, when, and who, and by when. So a plan is very general. It contains the spirit or the soul of the idea, but it does not contain the strategy on how you will achieve it. That is why it is very important to know that they are separate and they work together in harmony. Now, a strategy is underneath the umbrella. It is all of the different things you'll need to do to then support the plan. The plan is no good without the strategy, and the strategy is no good without the plan. Now, let's think back to what I told you about the harmony between the head and the heart. In my world and the way I teach things is that the plan is actually represented by the heart. The plan is the general spirit of things. It is the statement of, I want to change the world. It is the statement of, I want to elevate the consciousness of mothers or fathers. It is the mission of, I want to give soul-powered entrepreneurs tools to thrive in their business. It's the general way you want to head, the general way you want to show up, and the general way you want to have impact in the world, okay? And that's very much heart-centered, isn't it? It's led from the heart and it's about the heart. Now, that's not good enough though. We can't just stop there, because something that comes from the heart, well, it needs a plan. How are you going to execute that? What are you going to do Q1? What is your target audience? Who is your target audience? Do you have goals? Well, how are you going to get there? When are you going to achieve them by? Do you need money and resources? Do you need technology to get that done? So something that is just in the heart really cannot be expressed in the material 3D world unless you have a strategy. Now, the strategy is all the mind. It is represented by the mind. And if you're a yogi or a very spiritual person, you could even go down to the sun and moon energy, where the mind is very much the moon. It is cyclical. It is predictable. There's a rhythm to your thoughts, whereas the sun is in the heart. It is blazing and bright and can shine so brightly sometimes that it actually can quiet the analytical mind, which is why it's really important to have a strong embodiment practice that allows the inner sun to shine. More on that later. So now we know that strategy is represented by the head. Analytics, details. It makes sense, right? You're a very analytical person. You're a very top-down processing person versus bottom-up processing, body first versus mind first. Then if you're someone who is over-analytical and loves to think on something, then this resonates and makes total sense. Strategy is of the mind and intellect, whereas plans are of the heart and the soul and the spirit of the mission. A plan without a strategy is dead in the water and feels afraid to launch itself in the world. So if you feel fear in your business, it's because you really don't have the strategy backing up the plan. Now, on the other side of things, if you're all strategy and you're all in the mind and you lack the heart, you lack the plan, the big vision of where you're going, well, you're going to just get over-analysis leads to paralysis, fear again, but it shows up with overthinking and perfectionism. So if you are a perfectionist and you're really just saying, oh, I got to do a couple more plans here and let me think about this a little bit more, you're really lacking the heart and the soul, because the heart and the soul is really about the people. Your plan is about who, not you. The plan is about who, not you. Okay. Whereas strategy is more you. How are you going to get it done? How are you going to support the plan? How are you going to take action? Is this making sense? Let me know below if you're on YouTube in the comments. And really, I hope you're taking notes too. Because draw the umbrella, write the word plan in there, and then underneath are going to be all these different stepping stones that are the strategy. Draw a heart in the umbrella, that's the plan. Draw a little brain and the strategy, that's the mind. You can draw the sun energy in the umbrella. You can draw the moon energy in the area of the strategy to represent the energetics there too. Oh my goodness, we could even go even further to bring in masculine and feminine here, which will really rock your world because it's going to be opposite than what you probably have grown up with in the world of energetics. So typically we think of the feminine as more soft, maybe expansive and reserved. But in this model that I'm presenting to you, she is actually the analytics. The moon is the mind, and the mind is very feminine. Think about it. We have rhythms with our menstrual cycles. So there's a rhythm to the moon. And so in this model, it kind of seems a little backwards, but the feminine energy is actually going to be like some of the details when it comes to your strategy, the details that hold the seed of the sun. Is that making sense? Okay, I'm sure it is. So now when we look at our different types of fear, what kind of fear do you have? This was going to tell you, do you need a strategy or do you need a plan? Well, hopefully by now you know you need both. But if you're dipping into fear of rejection, fear of criticism, fear of, I don't know what to produce in my business. Should it be that or that? I don't know. Gosh, I'm just going to stop altogether. If you're having fear on that level, we really need to get you a strategy, because a strategy is going to help you see, this is my next step, because I've reverse engineered my big ass goal for the whole quarter. Oh, and then after that step is that step. It quiets the mind. It brings the mind in as a partner with the heart. And now we're working together in synergy rather than in opposites on this tug of war. Whereas if your fear is more, I can't release this because I don't want to be seen as a beginner. No, it needs to be perfect. No, I definitely don't believe in myself here. You're a bit too in the mind, a bit too in the strategy, and you actually could benefit from stepping back, getting that bird's eye view, dropping into the feeling and the essence of who you get to impact, your legacy, your brand, and your mission. And getting that long-term view with emotion involved is going to help quell or drop down, reduce any overwhelming feelings of anxiety and perfectionism, because it's bringing some of the heart back in. So now you know about the differences, and hopefully it's becoming clear on how strategy and plan work together. One needs the other. It is the bringing together, the harmony of the head and heart. It is the symbolic union of soul and 3D world, the material world. It is the union, the symbolic union of heaven and earth. It is the symbolic union of inhale and exhale. One needs the other. So most people stop at just the plan. Most people are good planners. They're poor strategists. And I used to be there too. I love a good plan. I'm very heart-centered. I'm a very emotional person. So when I get a hit of an idea, I'm like, cool, that's all I need. Let's go. But what I find is just 2-3 weeks into a project, let me know if you feel the same, I'm lost. And not only am I lost, but I feel really afraid now. Can I do this anymore? Am I the one for the job? I don't know, because I don't know what to do next. And instead of seeing that just as an invitation to build a strategy, I misread, I don't know what to do next, as a sign that I'm failing. And this is where most people bail completely, when really what they need is a strategy to strategize. So this is what I'm teaching you guys inside of the upcoming Manifesting 2024 virtual event that I'm doing in partnership with CNY Women's Network. They're hosting the event. It's kind of under their house. And then I'm coming in as the guest expert teacher on that day. It is a completely virtual event. You can buy tickets right now at exclusive price before it goes up on January 8th. Okay. It jumps to $149 a ticket. You have lifetime replay access. So no worries if you can't join the live Zoom call that day. But on the 27th of January, for the Manifesting 2024 event, I'm going to be walking you through this in detail. So if you're like, Kim, I'm raising my hand right now, I need strategy. I'm such a planner, I'm realizing as I'm hearing you say this. I got you, girl. Like, you need a strategy for sure. Everyone needs a strategy to support the plan. And I'm going to be breaking down exactly how to create a bulletproof, unshakable plan and strategy for your 2024 goals. Now, whether that's your business goals or whether that's your life goals, it really doesn't matter. I'm hoping you're going to come to that event with some business ideas, whether you have a business already or you're thinking of starting a passion project or your side hustle, or you want your side hustle to become eventually your main bread and butter thing. I got you. You're going to want to learn this because I have something called the FIRE method, which is my 4-step process. It's a dynamic 4-steps process, really, to help you approach entrepreneurship, manifesting your dreams, your visions, your goals with unwavering faith and belief in yourself, because we really do connect the head and the heart together, which is what allows you to feel very calm and in control while you're moving towards your goals. Imagine that big ass exciting goals feeling very neutralized inside of you. That's the end result. So the FIRE method is F, working with your future vision. You want to define your ideal self and get really clear on who you want to be and connect emotionally to that version of you, which allows you to walk right into the I, immediate action. What skills, what tools has your future self learned, and where can you start to apply them right now? And if you don't know those skills yet, well, now's the time to buy that class. Now's the time to get professional guidance on that, or hire a coach or hire out someone to help you join your team and get that done. So you're acting with confidence in this I, immediate action step. So we start with F, the future vision, then we move into I, the immediate action. Under I, you're also doing your daily rituals here. Now, I teach Radical Ritual Method, which is a 4-part embodiment technology practice that elevates, celebrates, and ritualizes who you are at your core. It is so delicious and so beautiful. And it is the methodology I've used to manifest 75K in my business last year, operate 2 podcasts, and just be this crazy productive woman in my life while maintaining balance. And it's also the thing that's allowed a lot of women to get out of their own way in previous programs when they've used the Radical Ritual Method as a daily ritual. They have seen and felt their dharma, their true path, and are now living that. Absolutely. So if it can happen for them, it can happen for you. Now we move into the R of the FIRE method, which is realistic goals. Hello. Does that sound like something we're talking about on today's podcast? Having a realistic goal, what is it made up of? Oh, 2 things. A plan and a strategy. You got it. So once you understand what I'm talking about right now, and then you take action, which we're going to workshop on the 27th for the Manifesting 2024 event, we're actually going to put it into practice. So you're not going to learn and then go do it later. I don't particularly like workshops like that myself. I want to know that, hey, we're going to roll up our sleeves and we're going to do the work on that day. And that's exactly what Alex owns CNY Women's Network. Shout out to Alex. Boo boo, I love you. We're going to be coaching you through that together, and you're going to have time to do it solo and then share with each other that are there that day. The other women that have signed up, there's like 10 or 12 of us that have already said yes to that day. You're going to be getting feedback from these women and inspired by them as well. So from those realistic goals, you're going to define your actionable and obtainable milestones. This is so critical. I've found that if you set goals in the future too far, it can arouse and it can excite you. But typically goals that are set very far away, we don't really do anything with them. We just kind of throw them out. We go, oh, that's going to be really nice. And then we don't do anything with it. Whereas the best strategy, and this is how I teach you in Diamond Frequency University, which is open right now for the pre-sale price, or if you join us on the 27th, you're going to learn how to make a quarterly goal. There's 4 quarters in a business calendar: Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. What are your Q1 goals? Let's just start there. You're going to feel so much clarity and velocity as a result of setting just 3 months worth of goals. And by the way, girl, 3 months, you can rule the world in 3 months. There's a lot that you can do. People underestimate just 1 quarter worth of work. Now we're really getting into obtainable goals. What is actually possible for me to attain? Once you start achieving them, you're going to build velocity and build confidence. So that's why we want to start a little smaller than a big ass goal. We want to also learn how to celebrate our achievements along the way. We're going to talk a lot about that underneath the R, the realistic goals. And finally, we get into the fourth step, the E of the FIRE method, which is enduring faith. You can do all of these things, guys. You can make a plan. You can make a strategy. You can define your future self. You can get emotive about it. You can act with confidence, act like her now. You can journal and do all of your embodiment stuff. But if you don't believe with unshakable faith this stuff works, then you might as well just stop right now, because belief is the number one thing that needs to be in place. And that's why I saved this for last in the FIRE method, because if you're just going through the motions, hoping and wishing this is going to work, that is a wobbly, wishy-washy split energy, because you're almost holding out for it's not going to work. You're thinking about all the times in your past it hasn't worked, and you're bringing that energy into the now. That's what's going to stop anything from manifesting in your life. It's actually going to put the brakes on your progress and your achievement. And I know it's important to you that you achieve a lot for yourself and for your family and for your community. That's why you are who you are. So if we really want to achieve, if we really want to bring meaning into people's lives around us, then we have to start really believing and having 100% faith that these tools work. And they do. There's so much evidence out there, not only my story, but so many women that have gone through my ecosystems, and then women that are out there everywhere in the world talking about how this works. And also, I use and anchor into scientific evidence and my background in psychology and cognitive science, and my brief run in there in the education world with neuroscience training. And I published a couple papers in prestigious neuroscience journals. I love the brain. I love studying fMRI data, believe it or not. And I might still go back to school one day to get my doctorates in that. It's still a passion for me. So I'm constantly reading articles on goal setting, high performance, and manifesting, and looking at the evidence, looking at the data that's coming out fresh from Yale, fresh from Cornell, fresh from Harvard. What are these major institutions doing and saying when it comes to your mind and action? That's all infused into the programs that I'm giving you. So faith, guys, belief, is one of the number one things that helps anyone achieve their goals. It's time and time again. Community is in there as well, by the way. Having faith and being a part of a community where everyone believes the same thing will accelerate the rate at which you achieve your goals. So if you don't believe these tools work, you're not going to get anywhere fast. But if you believe, if you can be willing for a moment to forget about your past and even forget about the now and say, you know what, I'm going to jump all in. I'm going to take a leap of faith here. That's why they call it that. I'm going to put both feet in and I'm going to go right into the deep end of this. Because honestly, what do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? So right now, I want you to decide. You believe right now that this works. And if you say that out loud, I believe that this works. I believe that this works. I believe that this works. Your mind pays attention to that. And the more emotional you can get about it, the faster the velocity picks up. And when velocity picks up, you are unstoppable. And I want you to ignore the past circumstances here. This is about even ignoring your current environment, because what's around you right now is a printout from past decisions. Nothing in your current environment has anything to do with what's possible for you in the future. Okay? So that is the FIRE method. Future vision, immediate action, realistic goals, and enduring faith. I'm going to be teaching you this and more. And in fact, the whole day on the 27th, the Manifesting 2024 event is framed out by the FIRE method. You're also going to be learning how to create, and the time will be there for you to do it with us real time. We will all be creating our 2024 digital vision board. We're very excited to bring that to you. And those of you that sign up for the event will not only get a free downloadable prep work magazine that has 2 audio transmissions from me in there. One is a deep meditative experience with music. The second one with music is also an embodiment practice, as well as some journaling prompts in there. So there's a lot of prep work for you that you'll get value out of even beyond this event. So sign up just for that magazine. That's one of the first things you get when you sign up. But then after the event, when we're ready to close out, I have a very exclusive and exciting invitation that's only going to be given to those of you that sign up for this event. This event is going to be the stepping stone to bring you into awareness of what it's like to work with me in a exclusive container, the Diamond Frequency University. Some of you are going to step into a private mini mind, not a full mastermind, but a mini mind that's happening. Some of you are going to want to step into the foundation course, but either way, whatever you choose, you're going to get an exclusive invitation to do that only if you sign up though. Okay. So right now, if you're feeling like, holy crap, this Manifesting 2024 event with Kim and Alex is going to be insane. And I want to link up and join forces with these other amazing women that have said yes. Then right now, pause this video, pause this audio, go down to the notes beneath this. You'll find the link to sign up and do it before the 8th, guys, because on the 8th, the price bumps up by another 50% to $149. Okay. Don't forget though, you have lifetime access to the replay if you can't make it there. I believe it's from 10 to 2, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. I'm almost positive on that Saturday. So let's recap. There is a difference between a plan and a strategy, and it is very important that you learn how to unite them both. One supports the other. It's like a dual handshake. We're in this. The plan needs the strategy needs the plan. And now you also know the head and the heart and the sort of symbolic, energetic, and spiritual significance of the plan and the strategy and how they are uniting something on a very much larger level, the macro, and also a micro level of the individual inside of them, the head and the heart. And now you also know too, we went over the different types, the different shades or flavors of fear, and how if you're in one and experiencing one or over the other, it's time to really either get that strategy, or you have too much strategy, it's time to get the plan. So now you know actions to take based on the shade or flavor of fear that you're experiencing. And we will go more into what the actual strategy needs to look like. What are the pieces that go into a strategy? I'm going to be walking you through that. You're going to be building your actual 2024 strategy and plan together inside of the upcoming Manifesting 2024 event. And you're going to be making your digital vision board. Plus, you're going to immediately upon signing up, get that downloadable magazine for free with audio transmissions and guidance from me for embodiment and meditation and journal prompts. Yes. That magazine I'm so excited about. It is so powerful. And then at the end of the event, you're getting an exclusive deal and offer to join me inside of the upcoming Diamond Frequency Business University, where we join forces with manifesting and business together inside of the DFU. So I'll see you inside of the 2024 manifesting event that's coming up on the 27th. And above all, thank you so much for being here. I hope this deeply serves you. See you soon for the next episode.